and see what the US court is doing to the 5 judges of the tribunal. Come and see the shame and the disgrace that these people are bringing to Nigeria at the moment. Since when Atiku opened the YANSH of Tinubu to the general public through the US court to the entire world, the 5 judges of the tribunal have been facing this from the US court due to the justice that they perverted the day that they were making their ruling in the tribunal. It's no more a news that these 5 judges, they disgraced Nigeria during the day that they were making their ruling in the tribunal. They disgraced Nigeria and disgraced Nigeria constitution due to the fact that they want to justify BOLA and Tinubu. But this is happening to them already. But I'd like guys to stay connected to the end of this video. If you can share this video, ensure you share it, let it go viral. This will serve as a lesson to other judges in Nigeria. And if you can share it, like it, give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. We'll stay connected. Going back again.
Welcome you back to LAJUPOG YANSH TV.
I don't have bad news for you today.
The home of religious gossip.
But you should leave the fight for Mohammed.
What is happening in the Christendom? Join now to make sense with LAJUPOG.
Hello my great and wonderful viewers, welcome me back to LAJUPOG YANSH TV. For those of you coming across this channel for the very first time, ensure you click the registration button appearing on your video screen and do well to click the notification bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video in few hours time, YouTube will easily let you to know. A big thanks to all our returning subscribers for your back-to-back support that you're giving on this channel. It's no more a news that Tinubu was disgraced internationally and every country in the world knows what Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, is doing at the moment. Atiku disgraced him yesterday for coming out after he exposed his certificate forging and all of that. Atiku still come out and still expose a lot of secrets that is between him and Tinubu. I said it in many of my videos. I said all these politicians knows the secret of each other. Atiku knows the secret of BOLA and Tinubu. Tinubu knows the secret of Atiku. All of them know the secret of each other because a lot of them, they are not pure. It's only few that are pure. In the lives of Peter Obi and others, it's only few that are pure. The moment you see political leaders in Nigeria that they are not transparent to the people that they are leading, the people that they are serving, they are not transparent, and when they are leaving office, they will never give account of how they spend the money they fund and all of that. All those kind of political leaders are the one eating out the country and they are the orchestrator of all the problem of Nigeria today. They are not transparent. Don't be surprised with what Atiku said yesterday that Tinubu sent governors to him and even ex-governors that they should come and meet him in Abuja to beg him and all of that so that he can take down this case. Even before Atiku collected the academic record of Tinubu from the Chicago State University, a lot of governors go to his house to beg him, but he did not agree because he too is aspiring for the presidential position and all of that. For those people that are coming out to speak for Tinubu and making unnecessary damage control for Tinubu, why is it that he's sending governors to Atiku to go and beg him in the house, if not that he's having what is keeping under the carpet? But that is not where we are going to. Tinubu is causing a lot of shames to Nigeria. I would like guys to stay connected to the end of this video. If you can share this video, do well to share it. Share to different social media platforms until you get to the last person so that a lot of people will know what is going on in Nigeria, so that the Supreme Court will not make the last mistake of the time moment. And if you cannot share it, like it, just like it, give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. The 5 judges of the tribunal, they are in serious trouble at the moment because Tinubu himself is bringing a lot of shames to Nigeria, and the shame is not only for Nigeria, but the 5 judges of the tribunal, they are for perverting justice in the tribunal the day that they were making their ruling. It is very obvious and it's no more in news that the 5 judges of the tribunal, the day that they were making their ruling, they did not allow the transmission of the process. Even when Obi won the transmission of the process for all Nigerians to see what is going on in the court and all of that, Obi wrote a petition for that, but they declined. But at the end of the day, you can see what happened in the court. They were even fighting their petition. I've never seen a situation where judges fight their petitioners in court. It is only Nigeria that is the first country that I've seen judges fighting their petitioner. The one that I'm even seeing worldwide is the fact that the judges will still even give accolades to the petitioners from bringing the case to court. For them to bring the case to court, that shows that they respect the law and the constitution of the country. But the judges in the tribunal, they were fighting Obi in the court. They said Obi orchestrated the big boss of all eyes on the judiciary, and they were even saying it harshly to Obi as if they have a personal vendetta with him in the court. They said the evidences that Obi brought to court, that they are liquefying evidence and they are doctored evidence. But I've never seen the reason why Obi will doctor any evidence. So they put another allegation to Peter Obi's leg in court. The judges in the tribunal, they put another accusation in Obi's leg. They accuse Obi in court. But the US court finally come out to disgrace them. Come and see what is happening to Nigeria. I'd like guys to stay connected to the end of this video. I will show you a video now as you stay connected for you to know what is going on, for you to see what Nigeria have turned into and what Tinubu have turned this Nigeria into. Stay connected, Obedient. I'll show you the video. I'll come back again.
Because it is very easy to try to run away from the trivialities that the Tinubu administration has more or less forced on us. But when if you dig deeper in the body of the same deposition, you begin to address the fact again that there are so many lies undergirding even the forged certificate itself. Too many questions waiting to be answered. People might begin to talk about how evidence does not count again at this point. But again, it's not like evidence has ever mattered in our space, because even the judiciary have found ways to make what matters not matter any longer. But there is something that I must respond to, even though it wasn't asked of me directly, and this is this idea that somebody is an omoluabi simply because the person is a Yoruba person. An omoluabi comes with qualification. It comes with qualification of integrity, of honesty, of pedigree, of history. That is why we have Oriki in Yoruba land. A person would be praised to his progeny. You speak to his generations. You talk about who are his forefathers. That is the mark of the Omoluabi. And then the person must earn the tag of the Omoluabi. He must act with integrity. He must deal equitably with other people. He must be fair in his dealings with people. In fact, the entire ethos of Omoluabi, you can find it in the book of Amos in the Bible. That is how deep the concept is. To now appropriate Omoluabi to everybody who answers the name of a Yoruba person, even when the person has not acted in a manner that is suggestive of the person having the quality that will make the person answer to the name of Omoluabi. I reject that in its entirety. I am an Omoluabi. I'm a Yoruba man, and I have not forged my certificates. And so please, it is not a Nigerian thing, and it is certainly not a Yoruba thing, and it is not an Omoluabi thing to do that. And transactional. The depositions are clear and they are not ambiguous. The person representing CSU was unequivocal in declaring that the certificate submitted to INEC by Mr. the man known as BOLA Tinubu, does not emanate from them. That is a matter that should be conclusively dealt with and forgotten about. Whether the Nigerian courts will find that a sufficient basis to do the needful, that's another argument that we can have at another time. But that we're still arguing about what has been conclusively proven in the deposition speaks a lot to the kind of country that we have become. Now, when you now speak about a missing document, the person went to school, we now begin to dig to the substance of the issue. You now begin to have to answer the question. The document submitted to CSU itself showing that it was a female that had the qualification to enter the place, nobody is talking about that. If we are not going to be dealing with the substance and we are just dancing around the issue, we can't even agree on what is not or what should not be argued about, that is already clear in the face of the deposition, that this document to Mark A that was given to INEC by Mr. Tinubu did not emanate from the body that was purportedly issuing the document. The body came out clearly. Now, whether Mr. Tinubu attended the university, whether he attended having the right qualifications, whether he lied about the schools he attended, whether Government College Lagos was found in 1970 or 1974, that's another story entirely. And the deeper you dig into this, the messier it becomes. And I actually think that we have a duty not to allow truth to become transactional and subjective. Facts on the ground are clear. The certificate submitted by Mr. Tinubu is a forgery. That is not my opinion. That is what the registrar of the school has declared on oath. When your legislators are corrupt, you should be worried. if your executive peopled by crooks, you should be afraid. But when the judiciary stops being court of law, the people should be alarmed. Nigerian courts over the past few years have shown very clearly that we have good reasons to be worried about the capacity to deliver justice or to give equity. However, I do know that within the inherent jurisdiction of that court, it has the powers, if it so desires and if it finds the will, to hear evidence that will suggest that the person who is sat in the highest office of the land is a career criminal. That is entirely up to the Supreme Court. It is up to the court to decide whether it is capable of saving what we have described variously as a democracy. What I have said is very simple. No, I'm sorry, Dr. Abati. I am sorry, Dr. Abati. Please rein in Mr. Azan. Rein him in. Rein him in. Rein him in. He had his say and I did not interrupt him. He had his say and I did not interrupt him. Please rein him in. What I said is very clear. What I said is very clear.
Don't interrupt him. Please wait.
You are very biased.
Okay.
In your own opinion.
Okay.
Make up your mind.
Please.
As an unbiased arbiter, you are a judge.
Keep
God don't descend into arena. You can't take over the show. No, to me, on that, I believe that doctors have forward issues. Let us talk about law.
Please, I beg you.
It's the law that we are talking about. It's the lawyer. Addressing the judiciary. This is the issue. The judges address them.
Okay, but
we lawyers cannot continue to desecrate the judiciary.
Allow him.
The judiciary are there to be there as unbiased arbiter. If you love to be part of the articular and media lawyer, go and join them.
We are not in a position
to fight before the court. You don't come to the media and presume judgment. And I won't accept taking over the show. I won't accept you taking over the show. No, we are here to.
We are not in a position.
Not you, but
hold on. We are not in a position to charge you for contempt. But this is becoming contemptuous.
My words are not ambiguous.
Mr. Farouk,
I was speaking with you specifically, Dr. Abati, over a year ago. I was away in America when you asked me specifically about the appointment of the current CJ, and he was appointed in an acting capacity at the time. And my opinion are on paper. They are clear, they are not ambiguous. I have zero trust in the capacity of the CJN to deliver justice. That is not political. That is something I had said long before there was a Peter Obi. So there is nothing political about that. There is nothing personal about that. This is all about Nigeria. It is about the country we want to leave behind for posterity, for our children. What values are we building that country with? Is it a country where nothing matters any longer once the person can snatch it, grab it? If you speak against that, you must hate the person. Is that the kind of country we have become? It is up to the judiciary to decide whether he wishes to do justice or whether he wants to continue wearing blinkers and pretending that it is a court of law when justice is vacant completely in his court. This is not about legalese. It is about building a society based on morality, equity, justice, and even law. If we are now faced with a situation where in our courts the law does not matter anymore, you have a Lawan in the Senate, even you have an Akpabio, and then you are asking me if I have confidence in the capacity of that judiciary to do justice. I am telling you straight up, no. If anybody does not like that, it is up to them. The point I'm raising is when you have this much imputation of criminality, whether it is proven or not is another ball game entirely. It is not even seemly. Already all over the world, our reputations are in tatters simply because of the person who sits in the highest office in our land, and then we are being told it is wrong to ask questions. We must hate him if we are asking questions. I hate nobody.
Can we stay on course?
Go to that
this program. No more interruptions today. Please, let's stay on course.
Definitely.
Make your point.
Okay, so the fact I'm asking
there is
the fact I'm asking you is this. That's why I said, please, it's best you read it because it's obvious you've not read it, and this is not to impugn on anything you said. See, the school in that deposition said they have another one that they gave a Nahoro Eba. But the one Tinubu gave was different. They don't know how it came about. So the school can actually have a replacement and reissue. It was that one they gave an Aureba. It's there in the document.
The same school that gave an Aureba still has authorized agent that is still
so why
is right to.
So why didn't they give Tinubu and they gave an Aureba?
That's the choice of Ashwagi.
Why? No, I'm just asking, please, just a clear question. Why didn't they give Tinubu, but they could give an Aureba? Pure and simple.
Tinubu only went to the third party to request.
Okay,
that's
Mr.
right.
Mr.
That's right. That is under his own right.
Mr. Lefartimi, I'm sure you want to answer the questions here.
I assure you that Mr. Azar is a very intelligent man. But when you find a very intelligent man struggling with something as basic as this, you will know that something else is there. So let me just say this. The candidate graduated. That was what the school said. But the school also said very clearly and unambiguously that it knew nothing about the document termed a certificate held by Mr. Tinubu. The only document purporting to be a certificate submitted to INEC by Mr. BOLA Tinubu by the declaration of the body that was meant to have issued it is fake, is a forgery. All these arguments that we are having is because, one, the Nigerian press, I'm sorry Rufai, I'm sorry Ayo and Doc, we sometimes deliberately ignore the truth that is in front of us and we go on fishing expeditions. The document from Southwestern College shows a social security number that goes back to a female. There are so many lies on getting these things that we are not asking questions related to that because it's already sufficient to focus on the fact that the document submitted is fake. It's that simple. Whether Mr. Enaoru or Mr. whoever, the fact is on record.
There are 40 million Yoruba people in the entire globe. That's the estimation. There are 222 million thereabout people in Nigeria. There are 93 million registered voters in Nigeria, wherein under deposition, documents are flying about, some saying female, some writing male, some saying he came with a social security number that is tied to a woman. Look, let me tell you, Shehu, I know a lot of people who spoke the BOLA Tinubu presidency into power. People like my very respected brother Femi Fani-Kayode, who must have their tongue clipped now because they will be greatly embarrassed that is this what we have really become? And you know, Shehu, the painful thing about it is that we want the entire country to pretend as if Atiku is now so guilty because he has the stamina and the gusto to go through all this. Even if nothing happens from the Supreme Court and if something happens from the Supreme Court, would this not be a line that we should never cross in this country? And I need to put it to you, Shehu, Atiku, this is not the first time Atiku has put himself in harm's way just for all of us. Even if you can't remember any, even though there are a plethora of others and court cases in court. One of them being the fact that a governor cannot just get up in the morning and remove his deputy. A president cannot get up and remove his vice. It's down to Atiku and fighting. The one that all Nigerians must even take a bow for is that, do you know how Nigeria would have become if it was really possible for somebody to stay in power perpetually and somebody had to stand at top time when even generals in this country were mooted? If Atiku has gone to Chicago to go and find the certificate, pray, why wasn't the certificate produced in the first time? Why is the secondary school, why is it a secondary school that doesn't exist? We have been derobed. People in England are telling me now that nurses are going to have to go and redo their nursing qualification exam. You know why? Because we have now become a nation of cheaters. We have now become a nation of duplicitous people who cannot even, come on, even the back ends of some other countries. You know what the governments of the countries are doing? They're doing like this. They are whispering behind our back. And Shehu, when we wanted to go on this journey, one day I was on one of those programs I was being, I always try to speak back. I tried to say to even the president then that is immortality in the villa because the contraption and everything put together does not suggest that this is the best that Nigeria can put on. And before you start telling me about any genius economic policies, the reality on ground does not even suggest so. That team that he has put together could have been put together for any other person that will carry the honor, the integrity. Do you know how I feel? I feel diminished. I feel that, are these the children of Bafemi Awolowo? Are these the people that Abraham Adesoya and the likes of them in AD, did they know all this and allow it to slide?
Thank you for staying connected, my great and wonderful viewers. You can hear what that man said to Sheon Okinbaloye of Chinese television. You know, that man said that he himself is a Yoruba, that it's a shameful thing for Yorubas today that the number one Yoruba citizen himself, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is now doing a lot of shit, manipulating results and all of that, disgracing Nigeria here and there. As this one the true sons of Obafemi Awolowo, as this one the representative of Obafemi Awolowo in this country. I am a Yoruba, and I won't say that because it's a Yoruba that I won't speak about it. If anybody should do any nonsense in this country, it is our work to come out to correct the motion, because what Tinubu did at the moment is very, very disheartening and is an ISO. It's so lugubrious. It spoiled the reputation of Nigeria. I'm betting you to get to a moment that Nigerians will not be able to get admission into United States universities again, and they won't be able to go into any other countries in the world again, because a lot of countries in the world now, they are now seeing us as a black sheep. They are seeing Nigerians as fraudsters, scammers. They are seeing Nigerians as people with bad reputations and all of that, due to what our leaders are doing. You can imagine the number one citizen of Nigeria forging result, and the whole world knows about it. That shows that nobody will respect our academic record in the world again, because once we tender our result in other countries, they will begin to see it as if, oh, this person is having a shit result, a manipulated result. They will begin to see us as fake people, and they are already doing it in some other countries like UK now, because a lot of nurses in Nigeria, once they relocate to UK, they don't respect their Nigerian certificate. They don't expect their Nigerian nursing certificate. They will ask them to come and receipt for another nursing exam. Why? Because the authentication of their nursing result in Nigeria here is not valid according to them. They are seeing it as if it's not a valid point. And this is part where our leaders like Tinubu have driven us into, you know, for us to have visa to go to another country now is a very hard thing. It's a hard task, but other countries can come to Nigerians just like that without visa and all of that. That is how useless Nigeria is at the moment. But I believe so well that if we can eradicate all these ISO leaders, Nigeria will stand again and will maintain the giancy that we claim it to be as giant of Africa. Now, looking at what the US court did to the 5 judges of the tribunal, you know, the 5 judges of the tribunal, they are now putting hands in their eyes. They can't walk freely in street again because they are disgraced, because this same ruling that the US court allowed Atiku to have access to Tinubu's record in Chicago State University, arome as the tribunal judges, they won't allow it. They will just be slowing down the motion for even Atiku himself until he gets tired of everything. So they are now seeing how justice is. They are seeing how judiciary is. They are seeing how judiciary works in the country for the favor of the masses, as the last hope of the masses. They can see how judiciary works out things. But in Nigeria here, the judiciary is not the last hope of the common man. The judiciary is just like showcasing the hopelessness state of the country, the hopeless situation of the common man. They are even making it to be more visible for the common man. That is what is happening, and that is what the judges are doing in court. And why are they doing this? The reason why the judges in the tribunal and the judges in court, they are doing their manipulation these days, because this executive arm of government is controlling the affairs of the judicial arm of government and even the legislature arm of government. Unlike US and other big countries, the executive is having his own affair, the judiciary is doing his own separate, the legislature is doing their own separate. But in a situation where before judges can become the chief judges of Nigeria and all of that, they will have to worship the president, they will have to worship the executive arm of government before they can get into power. Before they can turn to judges, they need to worship the executive arm of government. That shows that once they turn to judges, they will have to be serving under the dictatorship of the executive arm of government. That is what is happening in Nigeria. Before the IGP can become the IGP in Nigeria, you need to worship the executive, which is the president and all of that and all the other bodies. You need to worship them. Without worshiping them, you cannot become an IGP in Nigeria, and you can't become become a prominent police officer and some other big armed forces in Nigeria, even with your qualification and even with your everything. Now tell me, if all those people should get into office, who are they going to serve? Who are they going to work under a dictatorship? Is it not the executive? Is it not the president? That is what they are doing to Tinubu at the moment in Nigeria, because a lot of them in power now, it is Tinubu that put them and orchestrated how they get into that power, because they are seeing him as godfather. Now you are now expecting them to work against BOLA Tinubu. How possible is that? Until we stop corruption in this country, we are not going anywhere. So that is what is happening in Nigeria at the moment, and we'll keep seeing a lot of saga coming out regarding all this bad governance in Nigeria. Now the US court have finally disgraced the Nigerian judiciary. They have finally shown Nigerian judiciary example of how justice should be, of how rulings should be in court. You know, their ruling is transparent and is very, very just. It's not unjust ruling that they are doing in Nigeria. Now they are pulling the YANSH of all Nigerian judges outside to the entire world to know what Nigerian judges are doing. That is what the US judges and the US court is doing to Nigeria Tribunal at the moment. You know, teaching them the right thing to do in their country. What do you guys think? I would like guys to drop your opinion in the comment section on this video, as I'm going under to get an opinion for you. You should follow me on all my social media handles: on Facebook at LAJUPOG TV and LAJUPOG Entertainment, on Instagram at LAJUPOG, on Twitter, popularly known as Esther at LAJUPOG, and on TikTok at LAJUPOG, for you to get trendy update regarding what is happening in the political zone. Asala will keep busting. Guess what, guys? See you in my next video. Bye.
I see the hot for my body, I say make I yarn you. Religious gossip plenty day for body. Pastor with the line on top, be pastor for LAJUPOG Watch TV. Pastor with the back, where politician with the do pass himself. Corrupt leader, why you with the for church?